Welcome to this edition of Headlines Nigeria on ITI this Friday. This is our Abuja studio in Nigeria. I am Grace Ukos. From our national dailies, I have summaries of news, politics, business, and sports. Punch newspaper says Deji of Akure deposed, banished, arrested. The Ondo State government on Thursday deposed the Deji of Akure, Oba Oluwadare Adesina, with immediate effect. A statement by the Chief Press Secretary to Governor Olusegun Mimiko, Mr. Kolawole Olabisi, said the decision was reached at a meeting of the State Executive Council presided in Akure. World Cup begins. Senators in flight Hitch. After a delay of about 2 hours caused by a faulty landing gear of their chartered plane, 62 senators on Wednesday night left the country for South Africa, where the World Cup fiesta opens today. It was gathered that the senators' plane developed the fault shortly after takeoff, forcing the pilot to return to land for checks. The aircraft was, however, said to be certified OK barely 2 hours after to convey the senators to South Africa. 2010 admissions. JAMB sets 180 as cutoff mark. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board on Thursday said it had set 180 as a cutoff mark for admissions into all categories of tertiary institutions across Nigeria for 2010. The decision was reached after the first Combined Policy Committee meeting on admission to degree awarding institutions, National Diploma, Nigeria Certificate in Education, and National Innovation Diploma awarding institutions held in Abuja. This day newspaper, history as World Cup debuts in South Africa. South Africa is in hyperdrive as the country hosts this afternoon the first ever FIFA World Cup finals to be staged on the African continent in the 80 years of the tournament. President Goodluck Jonathan left Abuja last night for Johannesburg, South Africa for the opening ceremonies of the World Cup. Power supply, Nigeria to partner US. Efforts to solve the country's power generation and distribution problem were stepped up yesterday when Nigerian and United States government officials inaugurated an energy and investment working group in Washington, D.C. And now Daily Trust newspaper says, my travail is normal in life. Takai. Former Kano State Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Alhaji Saliu Sagi Takai, who was released yesterday from detention, along with 5 local government officials after their arrest in Kano by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, says his predicament is a normal thing in life. 1 million jostle for 68 FCT posts. An advertisement by the Federal Capital Territory Administration for 68 vacant positions has so far attracted over 1 million applications. Daily Trust learned in Abuja yesterday. The advertisement, published in Daily Trust newspaper of Friday, May 21, 2010 by the FCTA's Department of Establishment and Training for various positions, is a pointer to the high level of unemployment in Nigeria. And now moving over to Vanguard newspaper, 180 million naira fraud. EFCC files fresh evidence against Nyame. Fresh evidence have been filed before an Abuja High Court by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission against former governor of Taraba State, Reverend Jolly Nyame, over his ongoing 180 million naira fraud case. The new evidence and additional witnesses who have volunteered information to prosecute the case were filed before Justice Adebukola Banjoko. And now on politics, Punch newspaper says, Buhari, Tinubu, others task Nigerians on 2011 elections. Eminent Nigerians have urged members of the public to actively participate in the process for credible elections in 2011. Among those who spoke were former head of state General Muhammadu Buhari, former governor of Lagos State Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and the national chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Chief Victor Ume. 2011, the race begins on the Plateau. The recent verdict of a Jos High Court, which overturned the suspension of the Professor Dakum Shaun-led executive of the People's Democratic Party in Plateau State, might have opened a new vista on the political landscape on the Plateau. For one, the governorship election and the choice of who occupies the Oval Rayfield office have turned out to be quite interesting, for not only are the people anxious to decide who governs them, outsiders are also very much interested in who governs Plateau State. Pro-Bankole reps move against House faction. As tension heightens in the House of Representatives, some loyalists of the Speaker, Mr. Deji Bankole, met on Thursday in Abuja to plan counter-strategies on how to respond to the 7-day ultimatum given to him to resign. Investigations revealed that some influential chairmen of committees were among the lawmakers who attended the meeting held at the National Assembly. And Vanguard newspaper says PDP chair Nwodo bring hope to party Ukachukwu. The governorship candidate of Hope Party in the February 13 Anambra State governorship election, Nicholas Ukachukwu, said yesterday that the endorsement of former National Secretary of the People's Democratic Party, Dr. Okwesileze Nwodo, as national chairman of the party will inject new life and hope into the PDP. And on business, the Punch newspaper, EU woes, Sanusi warns of fresh crisis in Nigeria. The Nigerian economy may be in for further bashing if the lingering financial crisis in Europe impacts negatively on oil price. The governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Mr. Lamido Sanusi, has said, Ogun, Imo, Anambra among most difficult states for business, World Bank. The World Bank Group on Thursday said that Ogun, Imo and Anambra states were the most difficult for business operations in Nigeria. The bank made the disclosure in Abuja during the inauguration of its 2010 report on small and medium-scale businesses in Nigeria. While presenting the report, the Vice President and Head of Network, Financial and Private Sector Development, World Bank Group, Mr. Janamitra Devan, noted that the states were ranked based on 4 major indicators. These include the ease of starting a business, dealing with construction permits, registering companies, and enforcing contracts. NNPC GMD charges Ipman on new refineries. The Group Managing Director, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, Mr. Austin Oniwon, has challenged members of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria to take part in new refinery projects. Oniwon, who gave the counsel in Abuja when he received the leadership of the association during a courtesy visit, appealed to Ipman and security agencies to support the corporation by protecting product pipelines from the nefarious activities of vandals. Federal government to seal Julius Berger, others for breach of environmental regulations. The federal government has threatened to seal the quarry sites of Julius Berger Nigeria Limited and 4 other construction companies whose quarries are located in the Pape area of the Federal Capital Territory for allegedly breaching the nation's environmental regulation. Nigerian Tribune, federal government approves 69.3 billion naira pension allowance. Pensioners may soon smile to the banks as the federal government is set to approve the sum of 69.3 billion naira for the payment of all outstanding pension allowances before the end of 2010. And now on sports, Punch newspaper, my players are in top shape, Lagerbach. The current form of the Super Eagles is a delight to coach Lars Lagerbach as he expressed optimism on Thursday that Nigeria would do well at the FIFA World Cup, which kicks off on Friday in South Africa. After the team's training at a center near their hotel on Thursday, the Swede said he was satisfied with the readiness of the players for the challenges ahead. Nigerian Tribune, NFF receives World Cup grant. Nigeria's World Cup grant of 900 million naira has now been received by the Nigerian Football Federation as the team gets set to play their first match of the 2010 World Cup. The NFF has also sourced for money to pay the players their 25% of the prize from the FIFA World Cup participation grant of $8 million. Vanguard newspaper, Lagerbach assures Lookman of starting shirt. Haruna Lookman is the only player that has his place cemented in the lineup that will file out against Argentina on Saturday's World Cup opener in Durban, South Africa. Lookman played his way into coach Lars Lagerbach's heart after making 2 impressive starts in the warm-up games against Colombia and North Korea. And according to Lagerbach's Swede assistant, Roland Anderson, the coaches have unanimously agreed that Lookman is the man to man the midfield when the Eagles open their account with the Argentines. And that's it on this edition. Good luck to Bafana today, good luck to Super Eagles tomorrow, and football lovers have all the fun. I am Grace Ukot. Thanks for logging on.